Hi, my name is Scott Higgins with Rose Street Advisors, and I'm a financial advisor that works with the Sheriff's Department on the retirement benefits that they offer to all of the employees. So when employees are hired by the Sheriff's Department or the county, all employees are automatically enrolled into the main county plan, which is with John Hancock. The county contributes based on each individual's contract that they have through the Sheriff's Department or with the county at that time. And as the dollars go in, they're invested for the long term. So when they do ultimately decide to retire or move on from the department, they will have a resource to generate income down the road. When employees are hired with the department, they're automatically enrolled or have an account set up. However, if they want to review their account, change investments, look at statements, look at rates of return, they are going to need to create an online access point. In order to do that, one of our roles, one of our things that we do is to reach out to all new hires and set a time to go through the benefits that they have, not only the county plan, but then also the deferred comp plan. And at that point, we'll finish that account setup process so they can gain access online. So within the county plan as well as the deferred comp plan, it is an investment account. So when they're initially hired in, they are defaulted into an investment on their behalf. However, individually, there's different types of investments. So there's stock investments, which are going to provide long-term growth opportunity. And then there's bonds or fixed income, which are more on the conservative side. And then cash equivalents. Basically, if you think of a interest-bearing checking account, that would be a cash equivalent. So even within the stocks, you're going to have further breakdown between large companies, small companies, domestic, international. The same with fixed income. You're going to have different length of bonds or fixed income from very short term to long term. Each carries a different investment objective as well as a level of risk. So each individual is going to be different. So how they utilize the stocks or the fixed income, how much of each, what type of each, is all going to depend on individual circumstances. And how you engage or how you utilize the plan itself is going to depend on how involved you want to be in your account. So there are different options to pick from on one end, that if you're looking for very little engagement or involvement in your plan, there is a professionally managed account that's based on age, and the idea behind that is the longer you have till retirement, the more growth oriented it would be, and as you approach retirement, becomes a little bit less growth oriented. Another one would be more of a we'll want a little bit more involvement in the account and the investments, and that's going to be based on a level of risk. So if you're a very aggressive investor, there's an option for that that's professionally managed. All the way to the exact opposite end is going to be the conservative investments that lower risk. And the third option, which some people also prefer, and that's if you're going to be more involved, actually it's going to require significant more involvement, and that's for picking and choosing your own investments. So you're creating the mix, or you're creating your portfolio, but you do want to be aware that you're going to need to be involved and monitor that on an ongoing basis. With retirement plans, whether it's the county plan or the deferred comp plan that we'll get to in a minute, all plans have different plan provisions that are put into place by the retirement plan committee in the case of the sheriff's department. For those that are still currently employed, the county plan has an age 55 retirement provision written in the plan document. And what that means is that up until the age of turning 55, that you are not able to access any balance, whether it's transferring, whether it's cashing out or taking withdrawals. But once you attain the age of 55, then you do have some options. You can transfer to another retirement account. You can start taking withdrawals, or you can also, which most people end up doing, is leaving the money in the plan to continue to grow. One thing to be aware of, though, is that once you attain the age of 55, and if you were to transfer money out of the plan into an IRA, which again is an option according to the plan, that one thing that you want to be aware of is that withdrawals out of the county plan are not going to be subject to any kind of early withdrawal penalty prior to age 59 and a half. Whereas if you transfer over to an IRA account and then want to take a withdrawal prior to age 59 and a half, you are going to be subject to an early withdrawal penalty. So there is that distinction that not everybody is aware of up to this point. Some of you may wonder what would happen if I'm no longer here with the department. And the answer to that is that it is your account to do what you wish with. So you could leave it in there depending on the balance. You could transfer it to another retirement account. You could move it to another retirement account with the future employer, or you could cash it in. If you were to cash it in prior to age 59 and a half, you are going to pay the early withdrawal penalty at that point. If you do transfer to an IRA, then you're going to be subject to the age 59 and a half rules again. And this would be whether you're retired, terminated, quit, whatever reason that you left the department. The two basic options that you have are lump sum withdrawals or installment withdrawals. The difference being is that the installment withdrawals are similar to setting up a monthly paycheck, where once a month you're going to get a deposit into your account that's withdrawn out of your county plan. The other option would be to do lump sums, and that would be if you really don't need regular income. It's more of I want a little here, a little there. Then you can request those. And again, as long as those dollars or your account balance remains with the county plan with John Hancock, then once you hit age 55, you're going to be free from any kind of early withdrawal penalty. There is a mandatory withholding, federal withholding, as well as state tax withholding. Depends on what type of withdrawal that you're doing. A lump sum, there's a 20% federal tax withholding, and then the state tax currently at 4.25%. If you're set up in installments, that mandatory withholding can be down as low as 10%. However, you can certainly request more to be withheld, and then you do have the state withholding. Again, that's at 4.25%. So John Hancock does offer a lot of planning tools on the website. So once you do get registered and have the ability to access your account online, there's a couple ones that I'd point out. One of which, and I highly recommend, is to take a look at the goal planner, where you go in and enter some basic information, personal information, and it establishes a goal, retirement income goal. And the benefit to you would be that then you can see or track how you're coming along on goal. So if you see that you're a little bit short, then we can talk a little bit more about the deferred comp on how you can add to your retirement savings. And then, so if you do need to make some adjustments, you can see that sooner than later to have a positive impact. The deferred comp plan is an optional plan, and this is strictly employee contributions. again, where the county plan is strictly employer making contributions. And so the reason why this would be important is that oftentimes we hear that we're looking to retire out of the department at age 55. And so the earlier that you want to retire, the more that you're going to want to save to position yourself to be financially secure at that point. The deferred comp plan does allow you to invest in your future, if you will, or pay yourself first. So you do have that ability when you do retire. With the deferred comp plan, there's two great options. You have an option available through the John Hancock deferred comp plan, and there's also one option through Nationwide. They're, again, both deferred comp plans. They're basically set up the same. However, there are some minor differences between the two. So what we recommend is to make sure that you understand or ask questions between what's available on the Hancock platform or account and the Nationwide platform, just so you can make an educated and informed decision on which one's best for your situation. The deferred comp plan is available online as well, just like the main county plan, and that is the case with John Hancock's deferred comp plan and the Nationwide deferred comp plan. With the deferred comp plan, the plan provisions are such that as long as you're an employee of the sheriff's department or through the county, that the money is not able to be accessed like it would be if it was a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA or a bank account that's totally unrelated or not connected to the employer. Since the deferred comp plans, whether it's Hancock or Nationwide, are optional, the first thing that you're going to want to do is actually enroll into one of the two plans. Part of the enrollment process will get your account set up, and then you can create a username, password, login credentials to be able to access your account. Being able to access the account, you're able to look at the balances, change investments, pull statements, basically same information that you'd be able to gain access to on the main Hancock plan, the county plan. With the deferred comp plans, there's also a plan document that establishes plan provisions for the deferred comp. And the way that is designed is that as long as you're an employee of the county or the department, there's a hardship provision within the plan documents or plan provisions that outline what qualifies or how you would qualify for a hardship. If a hardship's something that you fall into or run into, then the plan administrators will review and to determine whether it qualifies according to the plan. Outside of that, the only way of accessing the balance in the account is when you leave the department or leave the county. Again, whether it's retirement, moving on to another employer, or whatever the case may be. In addition to being the retirement plan advisor for the benefits there through the Sheriff's Department, we're also wealth management advisors as well. So if you have questions, or those that do have questions on when do I file for Social Security benefits, am I on track for retirement, am I going to have enough for retirement, things of that nature, or how should I be investing my account right now based on my situation or your situation. Those are all the types of questions that we can help provide clarity and answer for you, and hopefully give you some confidence that you are on the right track. So as we wrap up or conclude the information on the retirement plan benefits, there's a couple of things that I just want to leave you with, or nuggets or summary. First of which is that we encourage everyone to participate, get engaged, get involved in the retirement benefits. The other one would be, or the second one would be, the earlier that you want to retire, the more money or savings that you're going to need in order to make that happen, or have your accounts generate the income for that length of time. And third would be establish a goal. and then track your progress towards that goal. And then number 4 would be pay yourself first. Both are deferred comp plans. The nice thing about those is that they are payroll deduction, so it's automatically done. It's out of sight, out of mind, if you will. And then that gets set aside towards your long-term savings. And lastly, finally, is to create a budget and then live within your budget. Establish or determine what's a want, what's a need, and then prioritize the two. And with that, we wish everybody much success and certainly appreciate the service to the Kalamazoo County. I appreciate taking the time to view the video and learn a little bit more about your retirement benefits. You certainly have some great plans available to participate in. We're available to support you in any way that we can, whether it's by phone, email, meetings, what have you. Please don't hesitate to give us a call. We do want to help and make sure that you're on the right track.